nipa ye mobopa enye gya ho ema yade enokro na onsiw edurade fa no koma amen certificate ba eni alternative medical hospital na obesa yade no etuase deku ama wasen gina wona so chiriben o Ghana mantam dunsia ni na mu mensini bia amen wo ho nti gye omo number si na frɛ wo mo na wachiro baabi ben wo na akogya yare 0244 227192 0244 227192 and 0245 275 254 0245 275 254 and 020 722 9505. Eminana yesawomrani say Allahu Shafi. Afei anopai yenkomo ayeba bebo afa ya pomuden ho no ye hwe say ya sitena imu niema hodo ayeye obi tumi wo ebewi ase no yesi wonya postpartum depression na enya nsunsuanso e wo na adwen mu ahoden ana na adwen apomuden eso obi abrabom timi hia na afi ne ho na hia no wo de ho adwendwen na waye bibi se sisi titiriti ese waye depressed enu abeka ya ka enuru asem no se ya moso ankyere wa wo pono na chi no ade ba ko ba beto dwa kusan yesi na Ghana ha depression wa ha na mafo so apese depression wa ha yesi eye adwene mu haw eni adwene mu yade ni bi obi eni sika enu ntikura no etimi ma na adwene bom etan sika eni ni hunti eni ti ene yesi social effects ewo ye mental health no eso ye neuro Samuel Kujo Hanu woye president Emma Mental Health Nurses Society Ghana ena ene yenino edi apomuden enkomwe aja hanu akwaba
na medase
yenkama o enkyere amanfo setwi no wo de be frafran kakra nti brofo ne ba momfa nche no ositwi ni ti ase so a mepagya agina wo aboa no kakra nti wo fa nche do ye da ase se waje penie mpo wa yade Ghana ha ise bia mental health no oman bia ne dia ewo ho Ghana ha adwen mu yare no de yin pa na wo beka se eye Ghana fo
de meka ne se de yin ni nyina no etimi affect ye
ni nyina
nti unse nipa ye onkola kopim penyifo.
Okay.
Nti there most of mental problems no starti ebia nipa no ye akola anase obeba abayiwa anase young adolescent no mu ha nti most of ebia drug use ni ama anxiety ni depression that area. But obi we nyi obi to say we di 60 years and above no bibi to say dementia etimi affect me say wo hwa ne efi ni ama na so opia bontin ontumi hu kwan ba hanti age bia ni way is when another thing so when say bibi to say mema e ban say ebia drug use of drug abuse e wo mema tempa ni ebia obeku ni hu you know mad dia omunya depression more but omuntan kom hu to say mema because so na e kanu most of these economic challenges no men na da no even though women are also but most men inti sometimes no so ni na wo hoye wo bibi to say schizophrenia but amaya won say no it affects like 1% of the population.
Okay.
And it's also the same thing for Ghana here. And yare ni na uka postpartum depression. So we also have it here in Ghana.
Awu eno ni depression nti na ma me busa ase ni nyina no efi se ase ni ye kadi agro de na nso ade a ebi mu adwen ye omo se obi se my depressed person nyajama pamcho se bi mpreduasa jama wo yade Ghana ha ube depressed na me ho akire me na se no se hwe ye yankasa no ye hopeless ne ni na mu ye nkola no ne di depression na ye di na mu nti ne ye ho ati nti ebi mu adwen ye omo se sa depression no kra de ebi ni ha esi o bipolar wo Ghana ha sebi wo jimi akase wo jimi na onya ese wo se wo ye bipolar obi awo wonya postpartum depression say postpartum de ade wonkwa no wawo na wonim de obi afa won kasa bia e kanti e ma ye ntumi nye ntumu se de mo kekan asema won ko import yare no na mo pese e ba ha se yare ne ye fe ne ye chiche bisa
ye import ye nti ya school doctors need nurses at school ye e wo ho na ye wo standard procedure yɛde screening and yɛde ma wo diagnosis no.
Okay.
Nti yɛwɔ criteria bi a nipa no yɛyɛ a nipa no yɛsɛ ɔntumi meet anaasɛ bɛhu sɛ nipa no saa wei no wɔ nipa no ho.
Okay.
Asosoadeɛ no wɔ nipa no ho then yɛtumi aka sɛ nipa no wɔ saa yareɛ. So it's not really important but sɛ na wɔka no I mean the challenges are there.
Okay.
Abrabɔ mu nsɛm bebree atieti ne ɔhaw ne nyinaa wɔ hɔ nti nyinaa affecti sometimes obi wɔ ka sɛ te sɛ adwuma yare no etumi ɛwɔ busuafoɔ like it runs in families.
Okay.
But
sana genetic ana.
Exactly.
Na te sɛ ebetimi di awo bi ana wo nana bi wo maami bi wo nua bi.
True.
Sa.
Etimi di wo but.
Okay.
And interest wo mami wo bi interest ye wo pena wo so wo bi. There are other factors that has come into play like social determinants of health, poverty, unemployment, insecurity, trauma, abuse. Can push the person into be nipa no adwuma mu. Sometimes promotion crack me nipa no mental problem because you're promoting your manu orientation say baby our cause say and it comes with this responsibilities in them na let me have it nipa no. And that it says adwuma no nibi. Okay. And I say ebia or adwuma no bi but your man akotia no enso ne di. So these are all social factors that can push the person to mental problem. But
some social factors in Uncle feel say you will always have it with you.
Agree.
When you say, and your idea usika besu did that. And what third world country are developing a day. And what no be order that into the tia bridge no or no condition bibia is no kunti bibi to be no say, hey, and which they be a balance. As a one angazano. Ahun chanu so wa be inherit wo beto so enti ya ne yen hyeda ntia se edie enti a afei na wadwe be o se ahun chire enti me yare
ene ko de o kan de ene ko but on say to say sanyina no nyina ye pepepe enti obi wo ho a ni risk of having mental problems inside the brain it was true obi so there wo middle obi so there one form enti the social factors is like the push. Inti say divorce by a push. Inti nipa no dia wa no say push
kakra. Na wo dada. Ti kitiwe.
Inti so no ye the genetic makeup no.
Okay.
Inti just a slight push na nipa na wonya breakdown no.
Okay.
Obi so dia wa ha. Sebi obi hwi sa hwe no because e wo form. Obi dia was so into baako pe na ye pe na across the thread. Inti say we nyina because of our genetic makeup we are different human beings. Inti the way we appraise stress, need pressure, is different. Obi wo ho a eba so that's how they even flourish. When you pressure in your mind, like now na jinse o mi ko ya ade we mi esibo so ho a eba no penance oh Charlie me ni me wie ye ni because we are all different human beings no. It comes to the same thing comes to us but we respond to it differently.
Okay. And ye ntum se ewo ho. Ewo Ghana. Obi ane ne die. Who can be so be or stress ban so afi kra na say na dwen no eye adwuma fan flourish ene de yenye raw ne yenye ne say de eye no ye fie mu na obi ono ma o say me hu kire me pa o na say kra de minister o me akra ma ye basa me akra ma bre I say my stress so na say why fine now I can say hey now obi o stress my fine me de me body de honam kwasea me stress kra na me fine.
It's true.
Yeah, would be.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's the same. It comes back to the same thing. So we are all different human beings. I mean, most Ghanaians sometimes are very particular about their appearance. She need to more, but you try and do. I mean, dress well and nice, and sometimes. Looking good also improves your confidence and also improves your mental well-being. So sometimes that's what you tell people say, only be there, but and not just say na be sad and sullen face that be cheer up, go out. I mean, have fun. Some of the things don't need money to enjoy it. Sometimes just taking a stroll around the beach, Pukeke. It is you can say it is therapeutic, healing. My height me bow ni padriano.
Inti dear important me sure say a dose a broad spectrum ti yentumi ka say ba ko pewe but e bia ni nyina be was some basic ade bia kofa sa adwemu yade ahodo nyina ba nti what are some of the causes kofa sa adwemu yade ba.
Yeah, inti maka about say it runs in family so it's genetically we are high. hokra no sometimes be a mame no wo ho wonyi sika de didi kra be ni ho
okay
and I say ebia sika ni ho into won say sometimes ebi wo ho onyi nse na wakọ o sati say onum nsa into onum nsa gu nyinsa no so no akola no be affecting the development into akola no banyi apia babontin kwa na wabu nsa dada because ni mame enum nsa gu ne so sa and I say ebi owu ye no say on to me didi ye
okay
but on your scan for aduane pan di ni nya to me affect akola no
okay
and I say nipa no these days I mean we've heard about drug abuse, tramadol and red because of what some people's economic interests.
Okay.
Because they are manufacturing these things and pushing it into the market. We show your pharmacy some of these medications or dosages is not stocked in our pharmacy. Just some people are manufacturing it and passing the back door and bringing it because of their economic interest into it also becomes a factor now pushing for bebre. So I talk about Edian or maybe a friend is financial strain. So would you get a salary in crano? You might say to me no and do baby anana scan nasa, then always you are under stress.
Okay.
So these are some of the things. So the genetic determinants it comes to in any social factors when kabuma na ma we na ba ha into be wo bia ni mami can say ni mami or depression no nche say you won't automatically obenya depression.
Okay.
Some of the factors pressures na obenya wo wiase mu adwuma mu same relationship same aduane obedi and all this stress push the person economic even for students who are academic stress.
Okay.
Or work it's on course class it's on swing some I didn't crown TSC then the pressure from friends peer pressure in your money now are all contributing factors that can push one to have obetimanya ajumu yare.
Okay. We know mental health na ebe affect ye ne ye ebusuafo ne ye namfo ne adofo relationship and so say ye ne adofo relationship no say ya hwe ni yi a eno so ekofa adwemu yare bre which is which.
Yeah, both ways it applies in both ways because nipa no sometimes bia owa adwum yare nti on person be kon nipa ntem.
Okay.
Obi a oya depressed onye eye mpokwa so be pia bonti obe sorry adware afreshen apaginity akomi apie into they become what you call withdrawn. Obi so ho sometimes no ebia asem na onye no adamfo bia wa disappointing no.
Okay.
Ebia relationship in stem bi anase obi adi neni ato ne so pa nipa na disappointing no. It is both ways but in going forward you can say nipa das ne bia say onya circle of friends you can trust.
Okay.
Sometimes no be wa the ohiani say utie na sema man keke enye pokwa say obi a wo solution man no but say wo ho a obetumi aka na sema kire wo a obetie sometimes the only thing you need to know say oh nyame wo ho ebe ye that alone and just like who can most people wonder how we Ghanaians say Ghana for here then yet we manage because skanu nsunye na su yet we manage we all become managers sometimes because of our religiosity. The average Ghanaian is religious. Sometimes nema say jidi na ewo nyame no etimi boaye and at the strong crowd my who say it's the protective factor.
Okay.
You being say bibi how but to the man quite sorry akọ bompaye onu say waja asem na manyakopon.
Okay.
It's just lessen your shoulders.
Okay.
And we are free kakra. So that's how come most Ghanaians are coping. If any say we are managers because generally I mean the whole world we all agree say the salaries we receive in Ghana are generally low. But when you look at the way sometimes we even have fun. I mean, for Friday nights, people are going out and having fun. Saturday nights, because for quite a year, they will stay there and have party all very late. These are some of the coping mechanisms we are using to cope and manage our stress.
And bibi owa friends and family ebetimi aye ediabwa ansana empo se nipa no say the chance or say or being depressed and koba.
Yes, I mean friends and family can do a lot of things. At the same time, say sometimes apart from the banks, no, friends are an easy way of supporting people with sometimes soft loans.
Okay.
If you nipa no ehia boy bi say chale me ho achim yo, but me am 1,000 bi na me show me how far bi na. Nipa no be ma because of downfall because the person trusts you. I didn't say also say unya wadwin say nipa no ma no also you not disappoint the person na be next time here. because some people are there omo just kind of
omuntia
and na sem now I mean we also understand sometimes kwa so nipa no hu say nipa no ohia mo person bua no but one kasa no sometimes you also become depressed because one say nipa no ohia no pa but who the man also be there. So that's a challenge. So friends and family can play a lot of things, and sorry, friends make them about men.
Okay.
Sometimes men, because of societal pressures, and we say, oh, we say men man soon, you know, and sometimes we expect men to be very strong, you know, And sometimes some men suffer in silence. So soon or more inside they're there and crying because they're having struggles and things. And sometimes the comments that come from friends. So and now if you know your bema. Now Obama now soon you say no and I say the kind of things and even sometimes spouses Obama now sit down we yan say now we Obama can also about see abansro now we no bet me 2 bedroom now to me see here that kind of thing you know so some of these comments sometimes makes people to become depressed you know and I say oh how now big catch us Charlie say na nyama kono me nyanka me ni just be omo and taking it for a joke because share ya especially Obama it's likely so bet me alcohol. Sometimes when you say about or the obeko send ni way. Sometimes they're just driving. Some people that's how can they drive reckless or person on ending so drive reckless and just crash into be say accident. But apparently it is
share done or
So family and friends have a very good, very critical role to play. Supporting each other from mental adwumu yare ni niama.
Okay. Bebre ade etini so say obi wa adwumu yare a said ye sha say de odi be hu ba ko ne so obetwe ne ho afiri nipa mu na so obeye isolated. Na isolation kwa ne ade a ye di be hu ana.
Enya isolation kwa the ebedi kind say sometimes someone say nipa no ebia ontimi ndayie and I say ebia oda too much. Or that time I'm sorry. And I say ebia ni sena obe strength ho kra no ni tea ni personal hygiene am almost say ani na affect. And I say obibi e friend say ebia nipa no ope football pa. But all of a sudden no say interest ni na ni hobby ebia ni na e football Liverpool ball a ebia me water mehwe me nita mehwe me wo baby a aka me monitoring it on my phone say o then e cost. But I do be being say interesting na ni ho or short telenovela spa na say series. We do be na say interesting ni hobby. Na say bibi kakra na nipa na buefu. Ade enye say nipa na buefu. Na wa fa no person na wo say na ade kakra na unti na buefu didin de no wo friend easy irritability wo Some people will tend to sometimes say bia on time no munsa and bia okono munsa bia weekends ni boys. But say Monday obai fin wa ton san bi no Tuesday onu munsan che say bibi koso bibi hanu. So these are all signs of we say na and say nipa no ti ho na oye cool I say bibi say absent minded na dwen ni baby adwuma no mu anase adwuma so onye no onto me hwe so onye ni yie che say bibi ha nipa no. That's why we need to know say no something strong we need to get closer to the person.
Maybe on so I say oh you okay or say oh me okay so no onye okay. So ka say nipa no or hide the struggles no and then something ebema obi bebusa wo you okay wo you okay so say me you okay no ja say ye adwuma mu say ya sorry you say you feel ordinary esi na say ono nko ana fm
and okay because of adia boni friend is stigma.
Okay.
Stigma is one of the things a higher power because obi am person e be friend is or timu yare and you even know how we even call it abodam and that kind of thing that kind of you know yem person until this you can say we should be mindful about the words we use. Kasa no ehia pa until stigma nti ema people who are omo hia mwan omo tumi mba up open up say I'm going through this. And if you can say ebia UTV organization is it safe? Is it safe for somebody to talk about the mental health issues and so I'm going through depression. What are the mechanisms? What are and can say oh now you're distressed no colleagues to be general baby no mo di concern e woni hu otisa ni na e hand nipa no. So we need to be there and support each other because stigma people are not coming up and people are suffering in silence. So we need to be sure we make it safe for people to talk about their mental health issues. So abrochia we are student now abrochina Which my catch lecture say I'm struggling with depression. Eba ne sana ya ma assignment obi yourself obi funny the embra ene would you bet my extension to Friday, you know, so they need to be open and have this conversation kasa na nya boa se the bear am for beti ase say adwumi ya ready me afeto bia. Now there's also support into don't suffer yourself because nipa no as we say o say na o ti wo fefefe wadwum come to me betina happen enye dwuma na o ye no. So we need all of us to be in good mental health. So na bear let me na aye dwuma na e dia boa aman no nkoso.
Okay. Yeah, society, ya mamre culture, and also wakwan enya nsunsuan so ya dwen apomuden so ana.
First of all, me come about akola ya wono ene. Ya wono UAP na ya wono na ni na bia free village aba se yen so shima mi na mi fa mi akola na ti. San so shina edi yen ya kuma akola na dwen no. Oh yes.
Samo.
Because who say
almost for say no mo oku ni timu kuro. To say bi ho no mo a ye hu ni say akola na ya wo no foforo na kuro wo some openings into to say the private parts in the ade no unya konko na ubotwa na odi nsohyegun a odi gum na ekum hukuro ntini timu ne de odi nsohye na odi toto hana na chese omiemie kuro no
enye because un say akola no oba no ni tinu eye bones one nti it overlaps each other so na be betumi afa oba ne ho aba oba out here they all go to their position so their spaces never ho no nya kro they will heal by itself. Abewana ti ho no odi tawo no bones no kasa so no shi nti ye na akola kitwa the brain is developing a delicate it hit no corner dream no mu it affects oh yes it's true. I mean it's one thing that we need to stop and because share a movie we don't see these things happening there, you know. Until sometimes we share kana tini miakwa na yakochia tini krama. Don't do it. Here because
but Mr. Anu so bibi phone call no mu ko school omu ni made pa o ebi kura omu ni made cha abrofo no
who say omu ye wo mo ho no they do well pa because they don't expose them to that.
But omu ba fia omu ni amanu ya na ase troka ya mfanso isha tutu omu
anyone I can say black man black sense because I didn't uba nyina ya kuna ma before we start
me say scientifically they wo kan asem dey but dey na mo ye no zumeti ase ofie because me twe we say so she na dey to akola dit so no
so na akola no so
na adwuma ko say kuro da
exactly seriously we heal because of the spaces, you know. So we introducing that warm water that tender stage, you know. It also affect the brain. So we need to stop that.
Should we introduce the water at all? Now what age?
We don't even need the water, the hot water.
Nti enhia say wo akola na ma me no be yen so hie no hye no the towel ni bom a white one.
No just I will say this I didn't hear ya.
To ni ha na ehome no. No dey ato kakra no dey ato ni ha so kakra. O miemia no. Esa so mo wi no san twi ni nkuta akoda no to wa woda pa.
But at that stage, skin is also very delicate. So we need something soft, because it needs to be very light on the skin. And but they're very delicate. So we don't need that way to massage the massages. The cultural practice we have identified, say we need to stop it. Then going forward, there be some of our cultural practices. You see, 8 days into the akola no to abontin. They need to abontin. The issue sometimes in sansu the man drops of alcohol.
And say omu yine pia. We need 7 days. No mu yine pia. Okay.
Or some of the cultural practices. That's the first time you're introducing a child to alcohol, and it's not very necessary. And
omu do omu sani bomu. Ana or the atreketo.
But sometimes they drop it on the child's tongue. I mean, understand the significance. Say so who say we and so we alcohol your yes be yes, you need to understand the cultural significance. But is it possible we can use something else other than
instead of alcohol? A corner system ni mu ntema obenyi no na ene ne ho age wo
sort of
nti obeye easy so obepe alcohol.
Exactly. Okay. Until we don't want to expose our children. In fact, Bruno addition say akola no me papa ba na ye omunya kabom na the fetus where the whole body is developing. Even the brain is also developing. In fact, the brain develops until about 23 years.
Okay.
that's why you can say only akola konya like sexual relations.
Okay.
The law will come after you, even if the child even give you consent.
So
18 years.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So we don't want this thing to young person exposures at an early stage.
Okay.
Well, so they to their full potential.
So na any mama can we incho na me bibi o TikTok. Alcohol na omo ye no sachet no.
Yeah.
Na ababa wa bi me hu ya no kra me shimenti man share pay attention but later me san share wate alcohol na no wanum bi akola no e bia onyanya wanye let's say some months onu me no di bia share na no hwe bia ma akola no so akola na no nti nkrofo mu comment ni say we so your mother we so your mother we so your mother
exactly
akola ni bia
nti we nyina is about
and sometimes we be hu mpanyufo onum bia no the cap na sha akola na no se kan hwe na akola ni so aka hwe
enye good practice because me kakra say time me akola no kra no me na nsano bi she mpanase I wanted to try to see what it is, and so because as curious as I am, well, in Timikobu be too much, but so we need to be. I say you feel quite safe. It's very very safe. To come back cultural practices, one of the things we can say, sometimes the way you glorify funerals into a typical Ghanaian community, Sunday, bunyo party, nipano onankasa on yini sika and kotonsa, but oba a party nasino, there's free alcohol.
Okay.
So benum ni sa some people we can say 6 but most but sometimes people amuti ho late in the night
10
8 9 10 11 sometimes 11 craft na yedi niama cry ba party
Friday
can you imagine
yeah.
So these are some of the practices that we need to be very careful about.
Ada no so dey adwin mu yare ba
it's manipa no na make can say nipa no on this card be anankasa beto nsano but wanyansa free no obenum ni saa ma obebu obuya and it's not only putting his life at risk or driving coffee who crowd na mu kwan so peaceful obi awodwun ho obetumi the ball o na akobot traffic light near ma say state property. So we need to be very careful. So these are some of the practices that we it also influence and as a drug abuse ni mental health issues eba. We need to be mindful about that.
Yeah ankasa ya kan abusua de ya ankasa nipa ne ya kan society culture wa nipa no so responsibility ni say
responsibility say and someone who say your health is wealth for you because once you are healthy you have hope, you know, and hope is very important. Don't say, oh, I'll still alive, I can work and I'll make it, you know. It's responsibility to say one, be mindful about the risk you take.
Okay.
That's why we men, we take sometimes the risk sometimes we take. Once a man riding motorbike, motorbike no share helmet. No akonya accident sometimes on war, not nitina shiho. Affect adrenaline for a long time. No, you can't bring it back. Some nyina can be. And I say bia unum son me say insano 2 and I will limit. 1 2, 3. How then how you know. Something now we need to take off our mental. Unya break, unya liver. If you have you don't even need to travel outside. Just sometimes go to the village.
Okay.
Go and enjoy the serene, the greenery. And say flowers in the walk on.
Kona could fresh food. Now what the fridge might join.
I cry you polluted. But you breathe fresh air. Now lungs quite treat. Lungs treat say. Who breathing in fresh air into your system from a paper. These are some of the things we need to do. You don't need to invest so much into your leisure activities.
But here the night is a nenijia alcohol, nerehua alcohol, or graduate alcohol, or area alcohol, or good news. They said the Matthias Modedi as a semi chuchebi. And also quite fast for the mental health challenge partner.
Yes, and that's how it starts.
Okay.
Because obi will also didi into so ontra kakra nsa na otumi didi. Otra 1 bottle. A month or 6 months time, we can say 1 bottle there and sumi o obetwa 2. So that's how it starts. Okay. So and we can say num kra but a moderation. You should be able to moderate your alcohol use and you not lose control. When you lose control, that's when addiction comes in. Say unyan sanu bioma na why depressed, na anxiety so set in. and in now to me affect our mental health. No.
And then our buying so be the boy reducing mental health issues.
Thank you very much. It is very important because we have to come but the social effects. Social effects the ban won be brave so honye. The inequalities no say inequalities just say e be munya be too much na be mu ni bi kra. We need to say bridge sa gap no. Na yen sure say ejuma wo homa nipa. I mean young ones some unyi bai. Omunya ejuma that's when they take to drug abuse ni niema nyensa umeye ni na say sometimes they are even abusing people and raping people ni niema yen pese sa niema be koso nti say yen so say ejuma wo homa amanfo. Now women empowerment and I say empowerment. Money be why I mean could you agree can say when you educate a man you educate only an individual but when you educate a woman it talks about what women empowerment. Okay. When you do that you are what educating the whole community. Okay. These are some of the things I bet me I hear. Now saying said there are facilities around for people to also seek for help. Uba maybe to say mental health authority or helpline I bet me free anytime 0800 678 678 0800 678 678 ubet me afre anytime bia obia me catch up for so opese unkun ho a wo de frɛ na ye de bon komo number 0800 678 678 and now another thing to say you don't need to come all the way to the psychiatric hospital say hospital bia we Ghana afani ni na your mental professionals were you even clinical psychologists because of the stigma in from person member hospital now we are hospital in Warsaw no high street so of course one now say hey one share me we can say hey last me say psychiatric hospital no other one can say akaw kakra na so you don't need to come all the way any of the polyclinics any of the hospitals we have mental health professionals there how much me atiwasem na mo aboa so there's help out there. Don't suffer in silence and I'm going to say obi akokun ho na say no that be there's help out there for there's you. Help.
Eja Samuel Kujo Hanu yeda sepa. For Eja Samuel Kujo Hanu president Emma Mental Health Nurses Society Ghana ena yenene di enkomono se emwa ho emma and nti uhia mo afre Mental Health Authority 0800 678 678 0800 that is 0800 678 678 said ye adwimu ya de ne sitie bia ana de kire wo so susu se wo minya obi ne ne nhye ana tie bi ma me se bia me de depression ana se de na me no ofre wo mo a ombeboa ene mo mpa de me take home no ye se sa ma me fo no na ye ka se mo boa yen so ye se no so nye nti se akwada na ya wo akwada bi foforo na funeral na ye wo no be 2 weeks ni mami bedwade akwada ya hye nsuo no bokiti mienu bobrapa no ba ko ye dade ba ko ye rubber ti hyehye no gudade nim ti oye pa no ahwie agu rubber bucket nim osise nsuo nyunu kakra gu mame na oba na wa wo ne tenchen no wo hwe na ode ne satu wotin adwo fa kakra gum na ode towro enye tawo towro na ode towro mremremre fita na ode atum ode yenisi ana no onu a ochimu ba ko pe na ode atoto akwala ne ti eja hanu se enye na yemfa nkwa hwehwe mu hwe nyame obo akwada no se ne bibia ye moja enye onwanwa se dia moja ne be ma nsu ofufuo yi etimi kekasi anima enkasa se me sori nyame ade ba kwa me de so me se rado ho ye nwanwa dodo se na moja eni sa nsu ofita etimi ko kekasi ani afi na nompe nkasa ya bam na ahira wa ne mrebo God is amazing nti nyame a wo bo akwada no wono ano ode adwene huhuo no etu ne tim nti se kuro bi wo mu nyame be kum no nti emfa nsu ohie ntoto akwada ne tim bi eno ni mi take home ti won so fa o se wo yesa ye mo ankwada no na nso no so ehyepa na wo kra wo we na ye dindindin kra no wo din so no to ho a ye ti wo sen na akwada inu wo de kai akwada no da no obeda yes science che say akwada ya wo ne foforo wa na kra se o da be ye 17 hours nti akwada no obeda dada nti nyankuto no a wo de twen no ti ni ti ase holding the nine was hey mama for mu antics shout out to all the mothers by Nsroma mama for social to nkwada mu ni ti hu biem emmoa wo epamucho bebre we ni me take home na me gidi se won so wafa ye kwaba and a full house mami we okay abusa